All right, these are the first 10 problems from the series homework from tonight. And so let's go ahead and get started. One of the things that you need to realize is that you have to remember a couple of things. The first thing is that you have to use the summation notation, and we're going to start with the number 1. And then, of course, you have to know what number this is, and then you also have to have the related function. So notice that this is an arithmetic sequence because you're adding 2. And so we know that's going to be 2n. And then remember, because this is the related function, while this is the first term, we do need to know term 0. And so the term 0 for this would be 1. But let's check to make sure that we're right. Because the second thing that you're going to need is the explicit formula for an arithmetic series. So to find any term, that would be a1 plus the common difference times n minus 1. Well, Mrs. Rose, I know that the final term is 57. I know that the first term is 3. I know that the common difference is 2, but I don't really know what number I'm solving for. And so this is 57 is equal to 3 plus 2n minus 2, which of course would give me 57 equals 2n plus 1. Hey, wait a minute. That's my related function right there. That's right. Go ahead and subtract 1. 56 is equal to 2n. So n is equal to 28. And so now we have this, and we have 28. So the final thing that we need is we need to know that the series or sum at 28 is equal to the number times the first term plus the amount of the last term divided by 2. And so the series of 28 is equal to 28 times the first term, which is 3, plus 57 divided by 2. Now, hopefully you have a handy-dandy calculator there. In this case, I'm going to do 28 divided by 2, which is 14. And 14 times 60 happens to be 840. So the series amount for these sequences with 28 terms happens to be 840. Let's go to the next problem. The next problem is 1, negative 3, negative 7, negative 11, negative 51. So I go ahead and write the summation. I know that I'm starting with the first term, and my final term, an, is equal to a1 plus d times n minus 1, and that's the last time I'm going to write that formula for you, so hopefully you'll remember it. Negative 51 is equal to 1 plus the common difference. Well, the common difference is negative 4 times n minus 1. Put that in parentheses. Don't forget that. That's very important. Negative 51 is 1 minus 4n plus 4. And so negative 51 is equal to negative 4n plus 5. Hey, wait a minute. That's my related function. So I'm going to go ahead and write that there right now so that I have that. And then I subtract 5 from both sides. Negative 56 is equal to negative 4n. Divide both sides by negative 4, and I get n is equal to 14. That means there are 14 terms in this sequence. So now I can go ahead and get started. The series sum at 14 is equal to 14 times the first term. Well, silly Mrs. Rose, that's 1, plus the last amount of the last term, that's negative 51, divided by 2. Okay, using my handy-dandy calculator, 14 divided by 2 is 7. 7 times negative 50 happens to be negative 350. Moving on to number 3, we'll go ahead and write the summation. We know that n is equal to 1, and we're going to look for this amount. So negative 82 is equal to 14 plus the common difference, which is negative 3 times n minus 1. Negative 82 is equal to 14 minus 3n plus 3. Negative 82 is equal to 17 minus 3n. Oh, there's my related function right there. I'll go ahead and write that in. Okay, subtract 17 from both sides. Negative 99 is equal to negative 3n. So n is equal to 33. Go ahead and put that right up where it belongs. And then let's go ahead and find the series sum at 33. All right, so 33 terms. First term is 14 plus negative 82 divided by 2. Okay, Mrs. Rose, it'll probably be a little bit smarter to do the parentheses first. So negative 82 plus 14 is equal to negative 68 divided by 2 is negative 34 times 33, and the correct answer is negative 1,122. Number 4, go ahead with the sigma, and this time I'm just going to say k, okay? And we're going to say negative 229 is equal to the first term plus the common difference. Well, this is awful large. I'm doing a common difference of negative 8 times n minus 1. That's right. Negative 229 is equal to 3 minus 8n plus 8. Negative 229 is equal to negative 8n plus 11. Okay, that gives me negative 8n plus 11. And I go ahead and finish solving that for the term that I need to have, the term number. Subtract 11 from both sides is negative 240 is equal to negative 8n. And so n, of course, is equal to 30. So I put this here. And so my series with 30 terms is equal to, that's right, 30 times 3 plus negative 229 divided by 2. And so that would be 15 times negative 226. And that, of course, is a series total of negative 3390. Okay, and that is 3,390. All right, number 5. What is the sum of this series? Well, again, let's go ahead and figure this out. 0.78 is equal to my first term plus the common difference. Now look, we are losing negative 0.04 times n minus 1. And so we have 0.78 is equal to 2.06 times negative 0.04n plus 0.04. And so 0.78 is equal to 2.1 minus 0.04n. Okay, so if I write this in sigma notation, I go ahead and say n is equal to 1, and my related function is negative 0.04n plus 2.1. Okay, and I'm going to subtract 2.1 from both sides, and I'm going to use my handy dandy calculator. And that is going to be negative 1.32, and I'm going to divide that by 0.04. And so there are 33 terms here, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and write the 33 up here. And S33 is equal to 33 times 2.06 plus 0.78 divided by 2. So Mrs. Rose goes 2.06 plus 0.78 divided by 2, and then multiply that by 33, and I get the answer of, that's right, 46.86. All right, let's look at number 6. In arithmetic series, A1 is equal to 7 and A12 is equal to 29. Find the sum of the first 12 terms. Oh, well, Mrs. Rose, this is a piece of cake. And the reason why it's a piece of cake is because we already know n, and we already know that this final term is 12. Oh, but Mrs. Rose, I'm not really sure about what the related function is. Well, ladies and gentlemen, let's think about this for a minute. The series of 12 is equal to 12 times the first term plus the last term divided by 2. Did you really need to have the summation notation? The answer is no. Okay, so 7 plus 29 is equal to 36 times 12 divided by 2, and the answer for this one, a series of 12, is equal to 216. See how easy it is when you know what you need and you know what, more importantly, what you don't need. All right, let's take a look at number 7. Oh, Mrs. Rose, take a look. First 5 terms. I don't need to mess with summation notation, though I could if I wanted. Okay, so the series of 5 is equal to 5 times negative 14 plus 30 divided by 2. Okay, negative 14 and 30 is 16. Okay, and so 16 times 5 divided by 2 is going to be 40. All right, let's look at number 8. Okay, this one's a little bit different. The first term is 3 and the common difference is 4, and we need the first 10. Okay, I do need a little bit of help here. Going for this, going for 10. The first term is 3. The common difference is 4. Oh, well, let me think. The related function is equal to the common difference times n plus the term amount at 0. All right, so let's think for just a minute, Mrs. Rose. My common difference is positive 4, and if this is 3, if I go to term 0, it would be negative 1. So my related function is 4n minus 1. All right, Mrs. Rose, you're ready to go. Series of 10 terms is equal to 10 times, let's see, substitute 1 in here. 4 minus 1 is 3. Okay. Substitute 10 in here. 4 times 10 is 40 minus 1 is 39 divided by 2. Okay. So let's see. That's 42 divided by 2 is 21 times 10 is, you got it, 210. All right, let's take a look at this next one. Same thing, arithmetic series. Find the sum of the first 20 terms if the first term is negative 12 and the common difference is negative 5. All right, so let's take a look and let's say, okay, n is equal to 1. I have 20 terms. The first term is negative 12. All right, so the function of n is equal to negative 5 times n. I need to go in the opposite direction, so that's minus 7. Let's just make sure that's correct. Substitute 1 in here and get negative 12. So this is the correct related function. Okay, so sequence of 20 is equal to, I have 20 of these divided by 2. Negative 12 is my first term, plus 20 in here. That's negative 100 minus 7 is negative 107. Okay, so that would be 20 divided by 2 is 10. Okay, and that would be 10 times negative 119. Oh, Mrs. Rose, that's negative 1,190. All right, let's go ahead and do problem number 10, and then I'll do another video with problems 11 through 20. In arithmetic series, find the sum of the first n numbers if the first term is 2, the common difference is 5, and the nth term is 122. Oh, Mrs. Rose, 122 equals the first term plus the common difference times n minus 1. 122 is equal to 2 plus 5n minus 5. 122 is equal to 5n minus 3. There's my related function. Okay, so I know that n is equal to 1, and I want to find 5n minus 3. Of course, 125 equals 5n, and so n is equal to 25. So the first 25 terms, okay? So we go ahead and say the series at 25 is equal to 25 terms, the whole thing divided by 2. The first term is 2, okay? And the nth term is 122. So 122 and 2 is 124. 124 divided by 2. 122 divided by, 124 divided by 2 is 62. And that, of course, is times 25. And my answer is The series total of 25 terms is equal to 1,550.